Okay, it looks like we are all set. Okay. Well, great. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. You're welcome to turn on your cameras if you want. I am streaming to YouTube, so just be aware of that. And yeah, I want this to be interactive. My sister usually helps me with these, but she's busy today. But if you have a question, you can come off mute and ask that. So why don't you let me know in the chat, where are you calling in from, or whatever you call it, zooming in from, and how did you find me? I'd love to know. Yes. Oh, wonderful, Rena. Okay, Montreal, Canada. I love all the Canadians here. Yeah. And Puerto Rico. Yes, Samantha. Ah, wonderful. Oh, I have someone from the UK too. Ah, fantastic. Okay. And I see lots of people who found me through Colin. Wonderful. I love Colin of Queer Cosmos. He is fantastic. So I will get started, as there's a lot to talk about for the Scorpio full moon. So how this will work, I'll talk about the full moon, and then I do participants charts at the end. So let me share my screen. Great. Nope. Present. Here we go. Okay, great. Oh, wait, I want to. Okay, well, welcome everyone. I am Celeste of Astrology by Celeste, and today we're going to talk about the Scorpio full moon that is happening tomorrow. So I am an astrologer, coach, and intuitive, and the founder of the Moon Mastery Program, a tool for self-discovery and manifesting with more ease. My big three are: I am a Taurus sun, giving me a practical, grounded approach; an Aries moon, that little dose of fire that I really like to initiate things and get things started and bring the fun with all I do; and a Cancer rising, so holding space for people in a supportive and nurturing environment. Personally, I'm an avid reader, a Yelp elite. I'm a foodie. I mean, I have a stellium in Taurus, so that is no surprise. My love of reading comes from my Mars and Venus in Gemini. I have 11th house stellium, so I love groups and working with groups. And I'm a flat-faced dog lover as well. And they're both a little bit fat, but that's okay. The vet's okay with it, so am I. So my background is I have a science degree and an MBA, and I am retiring from a 20-year career in Fortune 500 companies. So a lot of my clients that I work with and I do astrology readings with are seeking advice on their careers. So that's one of my specialties, because I really do have a lot of deep experience. And I've completed 2 advanced astrology programs, and we'll be working on a 3rd later this year about horary astrology. So I'm really excited about that. So I've studied with Deborah Silverman and Rebecca Gordon, amongst others. And I've done some teaching for Deborah Silverman. So wonderful astrologers I've been so fortunate to study with. Yeah, so this is Sweet Pea and Debo, the flat-faced dogs. Sweet Pea's a 13-year-old pug. Debo's 5 years old. Actually, he's going to be 6 next month. He is a bulldog and puggle mix. And you may hear Sweet Pea snoring in the background, but I mean, this is what he does most of the day. So I love this quote. I think it's perfect for the Scorpio full moon. Hope rises like a phoenix from the ashes of shattered dreams. And we have just so been through it over, as a global society over the last year and a half. It's just been so devastating for so many. But there is hope, and I've seen the word hope multiple times this week, and I really feel like there's a sense of hope and optimism with this full moon. Great. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about why we work with the moon phases. I just realized I forgot to put in my microphone. I'm going to do that right now because just the sound quality is so much better. So let me know if you can't hear me. Okay, and then we're going to talk about the Taurus Scorpio axis, and then the chart of the full moon, what it means for you. I'll talk about Moon Mastery 101, which starts next Sunday, and the doors are closing for tomorrow. So you have another day to take advantage of this opportunity to join myself. And so far, we have 11 other students in this course, but you'll hear more about that later. And then participants charts. Great. So this is the living sky. I like to pull the chart of the sky at the moment that, this started. So it has a birth chart of this event. And I love, well, I picked it as a Leo rising because I love to bring the fire of Leo to a presentation. But if you notice at the very top of the chart here is where this Taurus stellium is. And with Mercury and Venus standing next to each other, along with Uranus and the sun, there's a real opportunity for interesting conversations and to have a fun and social environment. So that is my plan and my hope for today's discussion. So the luminaries, why do we work with the sun and the moon? Well, the ultimate goal is to make the unconscious conscious. So the sun emanates light. It has a yang type energy, and the moon reflects light. It's more receptive in the yin type energy. So the sun, most people can relate to their sun signs, not everyone, but most people, but it speaks to your identity, your essence, your ego, and the wants and outward expression of your personality. The moon is more internal and deep and more difficult to access for some, including myself. It has taken a lot of time for me to work with my moon sign to really dig deep in there. And it talks about our emotions, our intuition, our instincts, and our behavioral habits that aren't necessarily on the surface. It speaks to like when we've done something that we don't really understand why we did it, it's typically because of the moon that is our signature. So the sun is about wants, the moon is about needs and comfort and security. So what are the benefits of making the unconscious conscious? Well, it really will help you connect deeper on a deeper level with your inner voice. One of my favorite things that has come from working with the moon is the ability to recognize the cues that I'm starting to have a stress response earlier. And I think that's a great benefit to everyone to work with the moon and to tap into your inner clarity to make better decisions and understand when you've gotten to that point, when there's an activation that is helping you to know that this is a decision that you should take forward. It also helps you identify and tame self-sabotaging behaviors and to pivot from seeking outside guidance to trusting your inner wisdom. Yeah, so every month we have a new opportunity to work with the archetypal energy of a different sign and a different house in our chart, an area of our lives. And at this cycle, the new moon was 2 weeks ago at 22 degrees in Aries. So Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, we started a new cycle. Last week, we moved through when the sun and moon come together at the same exact degree. Then a week later, we always have that first quarter moon where there's this activation where we can see more of the story that initiated in the dark. And it's a call to make some adjustments and decisions to keep moving ourselves forward. And I loved, and I talked about this at the new moon, how both the new moon and the first quarter moon were fire activation. So Aries is cardinal fire, Leo is fixed fire. And the fixed energy gives us the ability to maintain and move things forward. And Leo speaks to creativity. So this cycle has really been about, okay, we're coming out of this, dark period. How do we want to move forward and do things in a way that brings us some joy and allows us to bring more creativity to our lives? And now we're going to talk about the full moon in Scorpio, where all is illuminated and we have a wider view from where we started. And next week, there'll be a closing quarter where it's time to clean up. It tends to be like a crisis of conscience, and it's time to find wisdom, reap rewards, and or consequences. And then we rest and move back to a new cycle. Yeah, so talking about the Taurus Scorpio axis. So at every full moon, the sun and the moon are standing 180 degrees apart. They're always in signs that are the same mode. So Taurus is fixed earth, Scorpio is fixed water. So they both have that fixed quality, and they're either yin or yang signs. And Taurus and Scorpio are yin signs, meaning they are more receptive. Earth and water are yin, fire and air are yang or outward. Yeah. So Taurus, fixed earth. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus, the planet of love, of money, of magnetism, of relationships. So the sensualist is an archetype I like to think about with Taurus. Also, like the silent one, Buddha was thought to be a Taurus. So really, this energy is stable, resourceful, practical on the high road. Now, on the low road, it can be a bit materialistic. Taurus rules the second house of resources, so it can be overly preoccupied with things and money or things like that. Stubborn. Venus can be a little overindulgent. Venus rules sugar, and speaks to moving past what we need to nurture our senses into that overindulgent. Or as well, laziness can be a shadow side of Taurus, and some say boring, but I don't think Taurus is boring, but that's me. The moon is in Scorpio, which is fixed water. So Scorpio speaks to the phoenix, so rising from the ashes. Scorpio is about that life, death cycle of birth, death, and regeneration. Transformation, transmutation are words that come to mind with Scorpio. The shadow, the Scorpio rules the 8th house, which speaks to the basement and going down and examining our shadows and the parts of us we would like to disown, but should not. They are all parts of us. It talks about intensity, sexuality, healing energy. It's a very powerful sign. So the axis of Taurus and Scorpio can also speak about power and control in addition to pleasure and resources. It's a mysterious sign, and on the shadow can be overly controlling or scheming or obsessive or cruel, things like that we think of on the shadow of Scorpio. But it's a beautiful, beautiful sign. So we are now going to be at the full moon tomorrow. I mentioned that the sun and the moon are on opposite sides of the earth. They're maximum distance away from each other, and the moon can reflect its full light back to the sun. It's going to be a super moon, so I really recommend everyone go out tomorrow night or as well tonight and like see it in its glory, because when there's a super moon, it's really close in terms of the astronomy to the earth. It's also a pink moon, I believe. So I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but it's supposed to be pink. Yeah, so there's really an opportunity for much clearer vision from where we started 2 weeks ago to where we are right now. So it's a really good time to celebrate any successes that have happened from the intentions you set, no matter how small. I always try to celebrate some of my successes and recommend that to all my clients. And take some time to honor your progress and forgive yourself for anything that, didn't go the way you had wanted it to. It's, with the beauty of working with these cycles is they're 29 and a quarter days for the smaller monthly cycles. And we have an opportunity to reset and start anew in a couple of weeks. It's not like when you set, resolutions for the whole year and then, get discouraged in February. There is an opportunity to keep coming back and working things forward from a different perspective. It's also good to be aware emotions are intensified, and with the Scorpio full moon being a Scorpio bringing the intensity, we can expect, that it can be a little rocky, and we may see around ourselves, rockiness with the emotions of people. It's a wonderful time to examine your inner world, shed your old story, and release what no longer serves you. So in addition to these short cycles of a month where we can move forward, smaller types of intentions and goals, there's also this larger story which happens over 27 months where the sun and the moon can help work through larger type projects and goals. So the moon comes back to almost the exact same degree. So it'll activate the same area in your chart at the new first quarter full and last quarter moon. So this cycle started in October 27th, 2009. So you can think back then. Sometimes it's hard to see exactly what started if it wasn't intentional. But back then, like think about a week before, a week after, if anything, you can see anything having started in your life. And if not, focus in more clearly on the first quarter moon last July as well. This is when there's enough light to maybe see what story started. Well, we all know we were in COVID, but is there anything about Scorpio or the house it's in your life that started anew? And then tomorrow we are going to have this full moon, and something should be illuminated to you about that story. And in 9 months, the cycle will start its completion, and that will be in January. So this is just, the 12 signs. Scorpio, I transform. Taurus, I have. This is the axis that we're working with, the 2nd to the 8th house. Money, possessions, and values versus sex, death, other people's money, shared resources, as well as debts. So this is the chart of the full moon. It is at 7 degrees of Scorpio. And if you recall, 7 is one of the hot degrees of this year. So we have had the Saturn Uranus squares. That's the theme of the whole year. The first one was on February 17th, and it was at Saturn at 7 Aquarius and Uranus at 7 Taurus. So the sun is putting a spotlight on that. So activating this this hot degree of 7 Taurus and the moon reflecting back. So be prepared for an echo of the message in your own chart or your own life, and see if anything comes up that speaks to the structures that you feel called to change, or that your life is calling for you to change. Saturn, the planet of karma, responsibility, structures. Uranus, the planet of sudden events, changes, breaking free, the great awakener. So think back to where is somewhere in your life you feel an inner voice telling you to break free, and have you done so? And there's real power with this full moon for transformation. But I should stop and see, were there any questions about what I presented earlier? If so, you can come off mute before I get too deep into this. Okay.
I had a question actually.
Great, yes.
Yeah, I was wondering, you said to look back, or in 9 months it'll come full circle, right? But
Yeah,
right now we might want to look 9 months back.
yes, exactly.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I heard that right. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's like a lunar gestational cycle. So there's a new moon where the sun and moon are standing together at a degree, and this one was for Scorpio. And so at the first quarter moon, they're making a right angle, and that's 9 months later, the gestational cycle. And there's like a crisis of action. And then the full moon, all is revealed, and you can celebrate or share the news or things like that. And then at the last quarter, there's like time to clean things up, rewards and consequences. And then we start a new story. So this is really great for things like starting a business or writing a book or a relationship. So these are like the bigger stories of our lives. Great. Yes. Yeah. If anyone else has a question, just let me know.
Hello.
Yes.
So as far as the 7 degree of the sun goes, would that apply to any planet that is at 7 degrees in your natal? Would you?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you have at 7?
My sun in Sagittarius.
Okay. So with Sagittarius,
yes,
Taurus is what's called inconjunct to Sagittarius. So that means there's like an energy that needs adjustment. And Saturn in Aquarius was sextile. So you really have an opportunity to change structures or build new ones somewhere in your life with that kind of energy of change of Uranus, but it may be a little uncomfortable or need adjustment to get to where it is.
Yes.
So yeah, so you're definitely being activated by this full moon and that story from earlier this year.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and so the other thing is that we have this big stellium in Taurus. So there is a concentration of energy in this sign of fixed earth energy. So fixed earth energy really gives us the ability to manifest things, to have the steadiness and the practicality to really work towards our goals. But people could, on the shadow side, it can be being too stubborn or fixed on your mindset, not wanting to budge. So yeah, we really want to stay on the bright side of this energy. Now, Uranus is here, which is not comfortable in this fixed earth sign. So there is this energy of change, but I'd love having Venus and Mercury, the planet of love and beauty, who rules Taurus. So Venus is at home. Most of the year, the planets have been answering into Saturn. So this is a really wonderful opportunity to have the planets answering into Venus. And what I mean by that, so Venus rules Taurus. So the sun is in Taurus, so it's reporting into Venus. Uranus and Mercury are also here reporting into Venus. Mars is reporting into the moon, who's reporting into Mars. So they're actually in what's called mutual reception. And then the rest of the planets are reporting into Saturn. So there's still a big Saturn emphasis. I'm using the traditional rulers. So Neptune in Pisces is reporting into Jupiter, who's reporting into Saturn. And yeah, so there is this nice energy, which I love, that is a little softer than what we've been experiencing for most of the year. So I'd like to lean into that. We also look at what the closing aspect is. And so that means it's the last aspect the moon makes before it changes signs. And so before the moon, Scorpio moon, goes into Sagittarius, it is going to square Jupiter. So when anything, Jupiter's in Aquarius. So aspects to Jupiter are generally gentle. With the Scorpio intensity of the emotions of Scorpio and Jupiter, it can just be like emotional dramatics, the potential to be really extra or have an overreaction to something or things like that. But generally, I'm not too concerned when I see Jupiter closing aspects. So I am liking this full moon. So the little moon is on its, on its own opposite this big Taurus stellium. So it's a really good opportunity to let go of old stories about self-worth. Taurus rules our values, rules our, our self-esteem, things like that. So letting go of old stories about that, as well as control. This is an axis that Scorpio speaks a lot to, wanting to control potentially others, that fixed water energy. So trying to surrender and trying to release that need to control things you can't. So the sun and the moon, of course, are always opposite each other at a full moon. Well, they're both squaring Saturn. And so when we have what's called a T-square, what we can do is there's this pressure that's pressurizing, especially Saturn, this like energy of structure and authority. And then it releases in the opposite degree of Leo. So there's a concentration of energy that releases in Leo. And Leo is this fixed fire sign about nurturing your inner child, being okay to stand up and be seen for who you are, being creative, finding joy. So I think that's a good way to release that cold Saturnian pressure, is to work on finding joy with this moon cycle. And yeah, you can write a little gratitude list to yourself. Things you love about yourself is a wonderful thing to do with releasing into Leo energy. Play with your children if you have them, or other people's children. Yes. So I mentioned earlier that the moon and Mars are in mutual reception. So what that means is the moon in Scorpio, Mars is the traditional ruler of of Scorpio is reporting into Mars and Cancer. Cancer rules the moon. So the planets can kind of, when there's a mutual reception, like Freaky Friday, switch hats. So work at their greatest potential, and Mars and Scorpio can be extremely strategic. Moon and Cancer nurturing. So this energy is beautiful, but just be aware that there's potential to act out on emotions. So that's another thing that's a bit concerning with the last aspect, which flavors the whole 2.5 days of that moon square Jupiter. Yeah. And as well, remember that Mars is out of bounds. So Mars is gone past the declination of the sun, giving it a flavor of answering to itself. And Mars in Cancer, Cancer is the sign of home, family, the nest, our most private selves. So you really want to try to avoid fighting with your family if possible over this next Mars will be in Cancer till June 11th. So yeah, there's that energy potentially to be fighting at home. Rather than that, you can take action, positive actions to do things to make your home more comfortable, beautiful, things like that. Yes. And Pluto, the outer planet Pluto, which speaks to, the underworld, it's the lord of the underworld. It is ruled by Scorpio. So having a full moon in Scorpio and Pluto stationing is, I think, impactful as well. So there's a potential for a lot of intensity or things going on underneath the surface. It's really a good idea. See what news stories happen this week and think about how they relate to this moon cycle. And with Chiron in a sextiles give us an opportunity with the North Node, and trines are of ease. So Chiron is the wounded healer. So this is a really good time to be aware. There's opportunity for wounding or healing. So really work to heal relationships, especially with Mars in Cancer. Heal any issues with the family, and forgiveness and releasing are two things you can do with this energy. Any questions about that before I go on? Great. Okay. So I also like to look at charts in relation to, what is the larger energy. And I've used the United States chart. The Sibley chart is on the inside. And one of the things that jumped out at me is that Jupiter, so the United States birth chart is on the inside. And then the planets, the full moon chart is on the outside. Jupiter at 27 degrees Aquarius is activating the moon in Aquarius. So for me, I'm hoping, like, Jupiter is the cosmic Santa Claus. I hope this is bringing good things to the collective of the United States, or maybe we'll get good news in the third house of communication. So I'm hoping this means good things are coming. I also like how all the Taurus planets are in the 5th house of travel and recreation. So I'm feeling like for us in the United States, more people are getting vaccinated, the numbers are going down, people are having more freedom and getting a little bit more back to normal. So I'm liking that. A little concerning, although it may not be bad, but Mars in Cancer on our Venus in Cancer can speak to conflict at home. So be aware, you may see some news about domestic violence, messy divorces, as well as I put up the fixed stars here because there are so many of them that this lunar activation is interacting with. I thought that was very of note. And if you recall, Hamill and Scheider, the Uranus was at this 7th degree of Taurus at the Saturn-Uranus square, and I talked about Hamill and Scheider, and neither of them are very nice fixed stars, and they're being activated with this. So that is of interest. That, yeah, Hamill can speak to brutality. Scheider can speak to like messy divorces and things like that. Venus being conjunct Menkar. So Menkar is known as the mouth of the monster. So it can bring unexpected events, not necessarily bad. I like how Venus is parallel this fixed star Salosin, which speaks to devotion to children and philanthropy. I think it's really interesting. Both Salosin and Aldebaran are associated with Myanmar. They rule Myanmar, parts of Myanmar, and Myanmar has been going through so much with the upheaval. The military took over the government, and it speaks back to the Saturn-Uranus squares as well. If you want to hear more about that, I did a YouTube about Saturn-Uranus squares and talked about Myanmar and what was going on at the start versus what's going on now, when they were conjunct versus what's going on now. So I expect we'll see more news about Myanmar. There's been a lot of violence and death. Maybe other countries in the world will step in and do something about it to help the people. Also, Spica, the fixed star Spica and Aldebaran are both really important fixed stars. Spica is one of the most, the brightest ones. It's typically considered a fortunate star. So that's another reason why I'm feeling a little positive about this. And Aldebaran is one of the royal stars, the Watcher of the East. And that as well, to me, speaks to that Myanmar being in the news this week. Yeah, but those were just some thoughts about that. Potentially, we're going to see a lot of news, and also the North Node is moving towards the United States Uranus. So I don't know. We may see some surprising news. Hopefully, it will be positive. Although the South Node's on our ascendant, and Mars is in the house of conflict and wars and things like that. So hopefully it'll be positive news. Last week was announced that the war in Afghanistan is going to be ended by the president. So let's hope for positive news and not bad news about conflicts with other countries. Yeah. So that's that. The Sabian symbol for this full moon is the silvery moon shining across a beautiful gem of a lake. So the Sabian symbols, there was this clairvoyant who sat with an astrologer under a tree in San Diego, and they went through every degree of the zodiac, and she had a vision of something, and he wrote it down, and yeah, it's really, really beautiful. And I love this because it speaks to being receptive, taking in the learnings of what your inner voice is telling you. So I really love this silvery moon shining across a beautiful gem lake. And it's a super moon, so it's even more perfect. So this is, well, the Sabian symbol speaks to nice energy. So regardless of what's going on in the outer world, we have an opportunity for some beauty with all this Taurus energy, and healing and reflecting. So making the most of this Scorpio full moon. just be careful and watch yourself. And you can also, just be the observer and see other people about acting out on passions. I mentioned fighting with family or even drowning with dark emotions. If you're finding yourself being really down or depressed, reach out to a loved one or a friend or something, because there is the intensity with Pluto stationing to be able to get into this obsessive thinking loops. Also, sexual obsession. Don't be surprised if we see things in the news about love triangles. Pluto can speak to there being a triangle, as well as, people taking vengeful actions. In the US, it's almost every day there's some kind of shooting. So hopefully we will not be seeing that this week, but it's possible. So the advice for this full moon is celebrate any wins. And should be the same for every full moon. Nurturing its forgiveness, celebrating your wins. For this particular one, it's a water full moon. Spend time near the water. I love Epsom salts baths at the full moon. Yeah, really embrace your sexuality. This is what Scorpio calls for. And journaling is a wonderful thing to do with a full moon. Great. So now we are going to talk about the full moon through the signs. So are there any questions before I share the chart? Okay. Great. So I hope you can see that. I don't know why it's not bigger. Okay. So I'm going to go through the signs. So for Aries, the sun is shining on your second house of personal resources, how you make money, things like that. And the moon is in your eighth house of shared resources. So some themes that could come up is about releasing control over your intimate partners, or accepting, surrendering to things that you cannot change is a really good thing to do with this. Maybe if you want to start a new story around your finances, that's something you can think about. But I like to focus on releasing what no longer serves you, so that your hopes and dreams, this is a house of hopes and dreams, can come to you more readily. So for Taurus, the sun is in your first house. This is your month. It's Taurus season, but the moon is in the seventh house of partnership. So yeah, this is a really good time to think about your emotions with your partners, how you want to improve these relationships, if they need healing, things like that. When we have a new moon, it's more about outward actions. The full moon can often be mostly an inner story. So this is an inner story around partnerships and improving them and making them better. Yeah, for Gemini, it's the axis of health. So the sixth house, where the moon is, speaks to our daily health and habits, our pets, our employees, things like that. So really a good time to discard habits that no longer serve you. The sun is shining in the house of mental health. So it's a really good time to really think about those themes. So for Cancer, it's in the fifth house of creativity. So, and children and joy and things like that. So how do you want to bring more joy in these areas? What do you need to release? What is your relationship to control and power over your children, over your creative projects? It also speaks to romance. So thinking about, releasing old stories to bring new romance back into your life. All this is in your house of hopes and dreams. And Leo, it's about the home, family, the foundation. Yeah, healing any stories about with the family is a great thing to do at this time. Sitting with yourself and your emotional body. The fourth house also represents the most private self. And Virgo, it's about your communication, siblings, neighbors, community, networking, things like that in the third house. So thinking about, this is also the big mind, little mind axis. So how can you gather emotionally? What are the facts about any situation around this that you want to make sure you have the clear facts, as well as there's a spotlight on the bigger story. So think about letting go, releasing in that area. And for, oh, did I miss one? No. Oh, I did Virgo. Okay, sorry. Libra. So Libra is the opposite of what was Aries. So Libra, you're really thinking about your personal resources and thinking about how you make income, your values, if there are any self-esteem things you need to work on. Good time to think about, people pleasing can be a Libra thing, and releasing some of that values for this full moon. And the sun is shining on your basement, the house of the shadow, and it gives you some ability to see where you need to release there. So Scorpio, it's all about you. It's all about what do you need to improve around your identity. Do you want to shed an old story about who you are? It's about health as well in the first house. So are there changes you need to make in terms of releasing old habits or things like that? And as well, the sun is shining on the house of partnership. So thinking about how you can make yourself better to either work with the partner you have or the partner you want to call in. Sagittarius, it's in the house of mental health and isolation and mysticism and institutions, a house of secrets. Yeah. So a house of addiction and things like that. So do you need to release any bad habits as well that are affecting you mentally? Do you need to get more sleep? Things like that. The sun is shining on the house of physical health, and the moon's in the house of more the emotional health. Capricorn. Yeah, the sun is shining on the house of joy and romance and children, and the moon's in the house of groups, hopes and dreams, things like that. So yeah, can think about how you relate to the collective, and are there things you want to change around that or become more emotionally? Do you feel like you have a community that supports you? If not, maybe make actions to build it. Aquarius, this is all about your work, your calling, your reputation. Are you happy with what you're doing? This is a good time to think about it and think about what you need to release in terms of that. And the spotlight is on your family. So if you're working too much, you can think about that story. And last but not least, Pisces. So this moon is in the house of the big mind and travel and expansion. And yeah, it's a really good time to emotionally connect with how you expand, how you grow. Are you learning new skills? And if not, what new skills do you want to bring to yourself and emotionally fulfill yourself? And yeah, the sun is shining on the house of the little mind. And now we can start even planning emotionally. You can take a real trip. So that is something that's good to think about. Yeah. So any questions with the signs?
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
When you read those, should we be listening for our rising sign? I probably should have asked at the beginning, but I didn't think about it until you were going.
Oh,
Should we be listening
yes.
for the rising or for your sun?
Both.
Or for your moon? Okay. I wrote down notes for all three, but I just wasn't sure.
Yeah. I typically do sun and rising, but some people do moon as well.
Okay.
But I
Beautiful.
always
Thank you.
look at the sun and rising and kind of you can weave the two together to
Okay,
see where it
beautiful.
might impact your life. So Barose, is that how you say your name? Yeah, you have to come off mute.
It was the same question, exactly the same question.
Okay, sorry, I should have said that. Read for both.
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask, what type of astrology software do you use or recommend?
So I really like Solar Fire, but that's more for a professional astrologer. It's about $300. You can get a chart for free on astro.com. I'm not a big fan of that because it's just not very powerful. But I like Astro Gold as well. I have that on my phone. There's an app that it's about $40 and it's really nice because you can do the advancing with time and things like that. There's also things like time passages is pretty good and on the phone. And those are the ones I'm most familiar with. But yeah, Solar Fire is like, it takes a while to learn and stuff. So I would say Astro Gold's pretty good if just for the hobbyist.
I have a question. So if somebody is adopted and doesn't know their hour and minute of birth, how do you get close to what a moon, the rising and the moon? And
so what you would do is you would just listen to your sun sign for these, but there are people who specialize in chart rectification. So you bring like 15 or 20 of the most impactful events in your life from different areas of life, and they can figure out approximately when you were born to can be pretty accurate. So I'm going to put Sharon Lair is an astrologer who specializes in chart rectification. She's really good. I know her through Deborah Silverman. Yeah, so I put her name in the
situation, but it's my guy friend's situation.
Okay. Yeah, I'd recommend going to a chart rectification specialist. And he could start building these events, especially before he even contacts her, especially if he things he knows time for. So you can be like when your siblings were born, when you're graduated from high school, got married, met your partner, got your first job, first promotion, things like that. And especially Uranus will like activate on the day of certain things, Uranus and Saturn. So she can work with a technique.
It's interesting. He's a twin, so that'll be interesting too.
Ah, yeah, twins are fascinating. Yeah.
May I?
Yes.
What about also, I forget who it was, but suggested that you actually use the sunrise of that day.
Oh, yeah.
Well to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Is there truth to that? Do you believe this too?
Well, you don't know the houses if you don't know the time. So you can draw up a sunrise chart, or you can typically draw up a chart at 12 noon.
Yeah.
But you don't know necessarily. You can't know for certain the moon sign unless it's between 4 and 24 degrees of the sign. That means it's been there that whole day. but otherwise you don't know your rising sign or potentially your moon sign, so you wouldn't have the houses.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it just limits what you can do, but you can still gain a lot from it if you don't have the exact time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Celeste, I have a question. This is Karen. So the closing aspect of the moon, does that influence the, I guess, going forward or looking back?
Yeah. So when you're looking at the transiting moon, the closing aspect speaks to the whole 2.5 days, kind of just like it gives it like a flavor to it. So the moon changes signs every 2.5 days, and you look to the closing aspect to just get a flavor of the emotions in general of that transit.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was a little confused. So the closing aspect of this Scorpio moon is flavoring the whole 2.5 days. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, and it's a square to Jupiter. So that's how we can kind of know some moons are more gentle or more opportunity to work with or things, and some are a little rougher. And this one, square to Jupiter, is not that huge of a thing, but it could be a little bumpy with the square.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Okay. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. Okay. So for a full moon ritual, I kind of do the same thing I do when I do my new moon ritual, where I bring in fire, earth, air, and water. I also may put out my crystals at night. I would definitely recommend it for this super moon to charge them. But yeah, just take time to sit, journal, maybe contemplate, and think about where you started at the new moon and where you are now. And here are some prompts for journaling, oracle cards, or contemplation about where you can release, control, and surrender. And is there toxicity in your life about, coveting and just recognizing the shadows and trying to release? Scorpio speaks to like jealousy and obsessiveness, as well as can speak to fear. If sexy is gone, how can you bring it back? I like that one. And yeah, just being, what are you grateful for, and the things you admire about yourself with that release in Leo. So those are just some suggestions. Yeah, so Moon Masteries 101 is open. It is the doors are closing tomorrow, and I must say, as a Cancer rising, all of this promotion is not natural to me, so I'm okay with not having to promote for a little bit. But it's going to be a wonderful program. There are going to be 6 live interactive classes taught on Zoom, taught at this time on Sundays. It starts next Sunday. We're taking a break for the Memorial Day holiday. You can learn the basics of astrology, develop a more intimate connection with your big 3, the sun, moon, and rising. Really working with the moon will help you in astrology in general, and cover hidden talents, recognize blind spots. And it's going to be interactive, so you really can experience astrology in action with the other students in the class. We're going to deep dive into the moon and her phases, and you're going to have an action plan for 6 months at the end of the course, and a simple framework for intention setting and understanding synastry, which is about cosmic compatibility. There's also a VIP community to ask questions and share insights. So I dropped at the top of the comments, I dropped a link that you can go over and sign up for the program and read about it. And there's a little video there as well. So why would you want to join this program? So understanding your cosmic blueprint really does provide a flashlight to make the unconscious conscious. You can pivot from seeking outer validation and really connect in with your inner wisdom and the wisdom of your guides, the universe, God, whatever higher power you are connected to. Learning astrology is fun and insightful, and it is addictive for some of us, like myself. So, yeah, it's definitely a wonderful thing. And to make building community is another intention of the course. And working with the moon cycles really is a way to help you reduce your stress, increase joy, achieve goals, and build better relationships. For myself, I have told on myself, I have helped myself tame a wine habit, a wine o'clock habit, where I was like, as a stress reliever, using white wine. And now it's a treat. And then the achieving goals. So I have worked with the moon cycles in order to start an astrology business, keep it going, keep it moving, despite having a full-time career that I'm now retiring from. So it has really helped me on a personal level to bring wonderful things into my own life. So by the end of the course, you'll have a new perspective to make more conscious decisions, improve your personal relationships, and achieve your goals. And you'll have a personalized framework to help you put into action, keeping this going forward to advance your journey. So that is the program. There are also some bonuses. You get a gorgeous set. I have a graphic designer working on altar cards that will help, keep in focus where the moon is on a daily basis. And you'll be receiving recordings from me about what's going on as the moon changes signs. And you get 20% off a reading or coaching program. And this passed already, but I'm still have enough bandwidth. So for people who sign up, I will still give them a beautiful solar fire chart. Yes. And there is, well, I changed this to 12 students, and there's one more space for someone to get a hot take on their natal chart. Yes. Yeah, so it's an $860 value with the class and all the bonuses. You can do one payment of $440 or two of $260. And yes, there looks like there's going to be enough space for me to take on a bunch of extra students, especially now that I'm retiring. So if you want to join this wonderful course, learn more astrology, please sign up. I would love to have you. Okay. And so you'll get a copy of the slides when I send out the recording. There are hot links here. This is an intention setting guide that you can get from going to my website and downloading. It's at the bottom of the homepage. And these are a few books that are great resources for working with the moon. Okay, so how do you find me? My website, that's a hot link. You can subscribe for moon phase guidance. I also send out goodies and updates on big transits. This year it's Saturn Uranus square. And as well, Jupiter is getting ready to go into Pisces, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, take my class. I do personal readings, events, and coaching programs. And I'm on Instagram Live every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. I have a bunch of things on YouTube, and I'm not as active on Facebook, but I do post there as well. And yes, so that is the presentation. Are there any questions about Moon Mastery? Okay, so now we're going to go to some chart readings. Yeah. And also just wanted to let you know, oh, thank you. I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be doing events for the solar eclipse season. So I'm going to keep doing new and full moon for a while. Okay, it looks like people have dropped their information into, okay, let's see who first came up. Yeah, so if you want me to do your chart, just you can put your information or just let me know in the comments. Yes, I do have the right name, R. Harris. You're welcome, Sparrow. Yes, fear and control are very connected, Julie. Mercury's in Taurus, Katrina, next to between Uranus and Venus. Okay, Samantha. Yes. I'll do you first, Samantha, since you're a Moon Mastery student,
Okay.
as well as as well as you asked. Hi,
Thank
how
you.
are you?
Doing well, thanks.
Oh, good. I think I have you in here. Yeah, that's you. Okay. So let's see what this and I'm going to do this so I can see you. See this full moon means for you.
Does the full moon event chart being in Oakland, California, is that going to matter?
It's not going to matter because your chart is on the inside. So what it's doing is it's changing. So the planets are the same everywhere. And it's moving the planets to outside your chart.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is really interesting. So this is in your, it's because of the way it's drawn, but you have 7 Taurus and 7 Scorpio, like right on the cusp of your, your 6th house. So it's kind of 5th and 6th house, but I would say when things are this close, you push them forward. So I would say you were looking at that axis of health for this full moon, of the sun shining in your house of physical health. And is there anything you need to release about stress, anxiety, that sort of stuff in your 12th house? So I'm going to pull a card for you for full moon guidance. Do you have a question about it? The chart as well?
No, not yet.
Okay. Just do full moon guidance for you. Ah, the farther gate. Could you see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's a bold step forward. So this is that really speaks to the Aries new moon cycle, and it's the farther gate. So it's talking about you thinking about where in your life you want to keep moving forward. Yeah, the next experience, legacy, evolving. So what do you need to release in terms of an old story so that you can continue evolving with your life and evolving with your growth? I think are good things for you to think about with this full moon.
Okay.
So that sound good?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Let's see. And where? Okay. Let me go back up to you, Samantha, and see. I think this is the next. Oh, thank you, Julie. I think this is the next one that I see. If I miss anyone after, let me know. Okay. Julie from Norway. Are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have you say it to me because I can't see the
Mhm.
chat and my screen at the same time. So,
Okay, so I'm born on October 31st on Halloween, 1996,
okay.
and it's 7:36 p.m. And the town is called Bergen. It's Bergen, Norway. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So let's see here. So I already did Samantha's hot takes before. So let me actually, I want to look at so that's why I didn't look at her natal chart because I already kind of know her. So, but let me look at your chart first. Okay. So this is good for people to see. So since Julie was born in Norway, the houses are determined by the time of your birth. That's what sets the ascendant and the place of your birth. So people who are born close to the poles have this really these big houses. What house system do you use, Julie? Do you use Placidus when you're looking at your chart?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
great. So yeah, so your sun in Scorpio at 8 degrees. So this moon is really
Oh, wow.
activating you.
Yeah.
Your moon's in Cancer and you're a Cancer rising. So yeah, all water. Yeah. How do you do with all that water? Are you able to, I don't see much Earth, well, Mars and Virgo. Are you able to remain grounded and
Definitely not.
okay.
I feel like I have this calm like inside of me, but I
Mhm.
might get like these outbursts where I feel extremely emotional. So I feel like as I grow, I get more like grounded with all of these emotions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'm only 24 now, so I feel like I'm still very
You're
much
still,
on the journey. Yeah.
yeah, you're still learning that. Yeah. And so do you pick up everyone's emotions
Oh,
around you?
definitely. Yeah. I
Yeah.
cannot go to work without like feeling everyone's
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So like these salt baths are really, really good for you as well because these Saturn Uranus squares are, so Uranus is opposite your sun in your 11th house and Saturn is, where's Aquarius, is in your 9th house. So there's like this pressure like opposite and squaring your sun that releases in Leo. So it's a really good time for you to think about 3rd house things about how you communicate and how you bring joy to yourself and all those Leo things I was talking about. And then let's look at just look at the chart together. Yeah, so really a good time for you to think about, are you single or in a relationship?
I'm in a relationship. I've been for many years.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, so bringing the romance back maybe or thinking about, that sort of thing because the moon is in your 5th house of children and romance. Do you have any children?
No,
Okay.
I've worked with children my whole life.
Okay. Yes. Well, if you don't want to get pregnant, I'd really recommend being very careful during this next week or so, because you have the moon, a symbol of fertility in your 5th house of children. So, but it's connected to so you could maybe really think about how you can work with the fact that or think about tools to, protect yourself psychically from the emotions of everyone else. Yeah, and then let me pick a card for you. Overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. So this to me speaks to really thinking about, how you can protect yourself from everyone else's emotions and with all that water. And it's really a good opportunity. Mars is in Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. So right now, Mars is in mutual reception with the moon because the moon's in Scorpio, Mars is in Cancer. But every 2.5 days, as the moon changes signs, see your relationship to the different signs, and how it makes you feel or want to take action. Yeah. But abundance can be coming to you as well as having like too much or overwhelm. There's a lot of beauty and love and opportunities and divine synchronicities to support your dreams abound. Yeah, so be open to life's blessings, but also keep in mind that, you really want to try to ground yourself from being overwhelmed, and maybe consider moon mastery. Because with all that water, it'd be great for you to connect into the moon. Okay, I think this is Natalie just wants a card. So let me just do that right now. Okay. I just pick a card for Natalie. Natalie, you got, straddling worlds, wandering between realms. Natalie, are you, I hope you're still here since I pulled the card for you.
I am here.
Hi, Natalie.
How are you?
I'm good. So are you in some kind of transition?
So let me tell you, I had an Akashic Records reading like 2 nights ago.
Oh, cool.
And it was really good. Very eye-opening.
Yeah. So you got the card straddling worlds, wandering between realms. Are you in some kind of transition?
I'm getting my life together. Well, I had family staying with me for a few months, and that kind of like put everything on hold for me. But now that they finally return home, like I have the house to myself and I can like, proceed freely. So
good.
That's good.
Yeah, so when this card shows up, it's an invitation to get used to living with one foot in your old world and one foot in the new. There's no way going back, but it invites you to move forward. Yeah, with new ideas and new ways of being in the world. And do not feel like you have to explain yourself or be understood by anyone. Become a mystery even to yourself. So that's some food for thought for you for the full moon.
For the transition. Thank you so much, Celeste.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. Okay, Okay, so I did Julie. I did. Yes, Aniha, I will be offering Moon Mastery again, maybe late summer. And I think I'll do it during the week, maybe a weeknight. So if you miss it this time, no worries. Okay, Summer, are you still here?
I'm here.
Hi, Summer. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
I'm good. I don't have my trusty.
I have a horrible glare.
Let me pull. I have your chart here. Let me pull it up, and I will just talk about the full moon.
I feel like I had a really down week, so I was interested to, like, it was really rough.
Okay. Rough emotionally or actually?
Yeah, like emotionally.
Okay. Yeah, well, Pluto is stationing, and let me see. Let's look at your chart with it. And so, yeah, for some people, if you're impacted by that or with the moon or Mars changing into Cancer, that can bring a lot of emotions. Let's see. Oh, and the sun is shining on your Chiron, the wounded healer in your chart. So
Okay.
it's going to move off of that. So maybe it's just this week when the sun went into Taurus, it kind of activated that that wound. But yeah, this moon is really near Uranus, the planet of sudden events, the great awakener. So yeah, I would just stay present with the emotions and just kind of really, there's a really nice opportunity right now to think about how you emotionally relate to your and take action based on your feelings, with Mars changing signs into
Okay.
Cancer, and the moon changes every 2.5 days, giving you
Okay.
a different flavor of how you take action and how you emotionally feel inside. But yeah, I would say I think it's, this is activating potentially some tender areas,
Yeah.
and that yeah, sitting with those emotions
Okay.
is good.
And so like new moon ritual, like releasing or not necessarily releasing, just kind of.
Well, yeah, this is the full moon, so it's really a good
Or
time
sorry, full moon. Yes.
yeah, it's
Release.
really a
Yeah.
good time to release. So
Okay.
thinking about old stories you need to release, or anything around daily life and habits and things, because it's in
Okay.
your 6th house. And then
Okay.
yeah, let me pull a card for you.
Okay, that would be amazing.
Yeah. What does Summer need to know for her highest good?
Yes.
So I got lost in space for you. Speaks to needing direction.
Yes. That feels super accurate. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this speaks to the 24-hour day. So when you're thinking about, especially when things are really rough emotionally, or you're trying to move forward to certain goals, just like try to hold yourself okay in 24 hours. And this especially happens when we're up leveling or trying to change for the better. It can bring a lot of fear and activate old wounds and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. So more so just focus on getting through each day. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yes. Take heart. The 24-hour container banishes like worrying about the past or being anxious about the future. Well, you
just
like
get
stay
through
present.
each day.
Yeah.
Stay present in each day. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's really good for you.
Perfect.
Yeah. Just keep it simple. Just get back to basics, and then things will get better. As you know, this may be a rough week this week, and then things should start releasing. You're getting ready to have, in a couple weeks, Venus is going to go into your 1st house, which tends to be a nice time.
Okay.
Where things are lightening up. Right now, you got all this energy in the 12th house, so that can be like disturbed sleep and just emotional unrest and things like that.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Good to see you again.
Yes, good to see you too.
Thanks so much.
Okay, see you soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sounds good. Yeah. So Sparrow, yeah, I'll pull a quick card for you as well. Let me see.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And then I'll see who's next. Oh, somebody's from Johannesburg. Are you in South Africa now? Petsy or Lesego? Wow. Okay, let me focus on Sparrow. You got the vanishing mirror, ego sublimation. So this really speaks to, the moon as the mirror and reflection, and a really good card for the full moon. Let's see what it says. Yeah, letting go of self-centeredness and becoming a vessel of possibility. So this can speak to like, is your self-definition too rigid? And with this fixed energy, it's a really good time to look into your life and think about, do you contract your life into what's safe and what's not safe and have trouble moving out of that and transforming? Um, does that connect at all, Summer?
Yeah, no, that definitely does. I'm just taking the note here to myself to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's been, I think, surfacing a lot lately, oddly enough. So
Yeah.
thank you for pulling that.
You're welcome. And it also speaks to when you're hesitant to move out of your comfort zone. So Taurus could be like, the sun in Taurus could be like really wanting to be stuck in that comfort zone of security. And the call of Scorpio is to transform and have that, you know, take some more risk with your life. And yeah.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let me see. Who was after Summer? Okay. Allie. Allie, are you still here?
Yes, I didn't think you were going to pick me. I'm so excited.
Oh, hi, Allie. Good to
Hello.
see you.
Sorry, I like have the weirdest little setup and I look crazy, but it's fine. Good to see you too.
You look fine. Okay, let me pull your chart up here. Have I ever done your chart before or no?
No, and I have gone to all four and put my time in, and then I either had to hop off or I didn't get called. So I'm literally so excited. And my moon is in Aries, and it was an Aries new moon, and my rising is in Scorpio. So I'm like so excited because I just want to hear all about it. In fact, a lot of my charts in Scorpio, but
good,
very excited.
Good. Yes. Oh, well, I'm glad I called on you. So what is your birth date?
August 25th, 1994.
And the time?
11:40 a.m. And in Fresno, California. Gosh, I'm like so nervous.
Oh, there's
I'm just so excited. I'm like,
oh, good. Well, I'm so glad you are excited. And yeah, so your sun is in Virgo and your moon is in Aries. And look at that Scorpio stellium and your Scorpio rising. Wow. So you've got earth, water, and that fire. I love it. Are you in like what kind of work do you do? Are you in healthcare or?
I am. That's so weird. I work for Make-A-Wish, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have that Scorpio energy to be able to hold space and be okay with working with, you know, or hearing these stories around people going through this horrible stuff and illness. Yeah. And you also have Jupiter rising. So that's beautiful. You have Jupiter in your first house. So yeah, you were born near a lucky star. Yeah.
Everyone has always said I'm lucky my whole life. So this is making me so happy.
Yeah, you are
I'm
lucky.
gonna take a quick note. My mom's gonna die.
Yeah. Your sun is in the house of work and your moon is in the house of like your daily life. So it's important for you to emotionally be connected with your work.
Beautiful. Love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you are being impacted by these Saturn Uranus squares because the last one is going to be right at your root, opposite your midheaven. So there may be some energy for you to grow in your career this year if you're interested. And
that's so funny. They're just now talking about moving me to a higher up role. So, and it's supposed to come around like August, September area. So,
Yep. Yeah. In July, you'll have a Mars and Venus in your 10th house. So, yep, this is potentially a really good year for you.
Oh, that makes me very happy.
Yeah. But with, Uranus, Saturn, you expect the unexpected, but you are, oh, okay. Oh, look at this. So you're having a Mars return. So Mars is coming back to where it was at the moment of your birth in the next week, I would imagine. So that also gives you this new start in your, the house of shared resources. So that's good. And the sun in the first house and the moon in your, sun in the house of the partner, moon in the house of the self. Are you in a relationship?
I am not. Sorry, my
Okay.
cat is like all over this. So if he's in the screen, sorry, but no, I am not. I was actually in a very toxic relationship for a long time, and I broke out right at the start of quarantine, and then I have been in quarantine for a year, and now things are starting to open up. So I'm really hopeful about this year. So that's why I was excited when you said it looks like a good year for me. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like you could get some. Yeah, I like it. I like it for you. And Jupiter is going to go into Pisces in a few weeks, and it's really going to be in your fifth house of romance next year, mid next year. But yeah, it's a really good time to release old stories, to think about, your identity and what changes about yourself you want to make, to call in a healthy partner.
Beautiful.
Rather than the other. Yeah. And let's just pull you a card. Mindful. I got the group think card. So let me see what that says.
Over.
Yeah, keeping a clear mind. The human mind can be so many things: a prison, a latrine, a circus, a temple, a cave. So being a Virgo sun, this speaks to, trying to move away from anxiety if you have any issues with that, or that obsessive thinking, especially with the Scorpio and the Virgo. You could probably get into obsessive loops. So moving away from that is the message of this full moon.
That's
for
so
you.
funny. It's everything I'm trying to do. That is beautiful. Thank you. I've been doing like this. I call it my 30-day boot camp reboot, where I'm trying to do like mind, body, soul every single day. So I can just like reconnect with myself. And so I'm like, that is like exactly what I'm trying to work on right now. Like I'm trying to meditate more and just be more mindful and get myself out of my head, because you are right. It is a chaos, like just a circus all the time going on in there. So yes. I love that. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, Allie. Think about coming to Moon Mastery or getting a reading or something.
Honestly have been like really, really debating it. And then I just had to get 4 new tires on my car. And I was like, okay, I just can't do it right now. So I'm so glad you said you're going to do one later. And you're doing it end of summer, which is around my birthday. So I might treat myself to a little birthday program. But yeah, super excited. I will one day, I promise, do something. I just right now couldn't do it for this one.
No worries. Only when you're ready and you want to. But
thank you so much.
Oh, it was my pleasure. You definitely have Jupiter.
And thank you everyone for saying that you like my cat and for getting out of my toxic relationship. I appreciate it. I love everyone in this community. Everyone's just so nice.
Yes, I love it. I am. Oh, did I miss Zena? Oh, okay. Yeah, Zena and then Haifa and then Pitsy. Okay, I'll just tell you guys your order. Thank you so much, Allie. It was such a pleasure. Okay, Zena, what is your birth date?
11/29/1964.
And time?
1:14 p.m.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm late, Celeste. Do you still need my help?
Yes, I do. I'm struggling here. So I'm doing Zena right now. And then the one after, and the two people after Zena, no. But after that, I'll probably need your help. I already did Allie. Okay, Zena, where do you live?
Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Oh, wait, yeah. That's beautiful up there. I've been to
Banff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember from last week you mentioned it.
Ah, yes. Okay. So just double check, make sure I got everything in right, Zena.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good. Oh, you're a Sagittarius sun in the 9th house.
Yes.
That's where the sun has its joy. So that's really nice. So are you always thinking about the bigger picture, the meaning of life and things like that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I'm a traveler too, so I'm missing the not being able to travel.
Mm-hmm. And the moon in Libra and a Pisces rising.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're getting ready to have your second Saturn return. And well, it's going to be like 2 years, but
it's coming. I feel it.
You feel it already? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And let's see if there's anything else. Oh, so this full moon is on your Venus. Are you in a relationship?
Long distance. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see.
My progressed full moon is in Venus or in Scorpio as well, actually.
Okay. So there's really a lot of energy in terms of shared resources, intimacy, like sharing your true self. Really a good time to look at the basement and the shadows and do that work, and with how you connect with your partner.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. But your coming Jupiter is getting ready to go into it's not going to go into your first house till next year.
Right.
But that can be a good time where brings some joy and growth into your life.
Mm-hmm.
And having all the sun's also shining. This month is about your personal resources and values and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you had a nodal return recently. So yeah, these are good.
It's feeling pretty darn good. I'm in Deborah Silverman's level 2 right now, actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're having these Saturn Uranus squares are about it may be more internal, but maybe you want to change something about the work you do. Are you wanting to become a full-time astrologer?
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, perfect.
I'm going to. Absolutely.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. I love that.
Yes.
Yes. That
Definitely.
is fantastic. Well, let me pull your card. Okay. Oh, you got mindful too. So does that same concept, can you connect with that about overthinking things and your mind getting into loops?
Yes.
So
astrology is my therapy, like going into my own birth chart and, diving into Chiron and Black Moon Lilith, this sort of thing has been fantastic.
Yeah, and your moon in Libra in the 7th house, it's a really good call for you to examine all those things about people pleasing or like projecting emotions and things like that with this. But you have some nice conversations to your moon, so that's also good. Yeah. Well, wonderful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're very, very welcome.
I really enjoyed you when you had your conversation with Colin. It was so great.
Thank you. I love Colin. He's amazing.
Yeah. I had a reading with him, actually.
Oh, wow. Oh, cool. I bet it was amazing.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you, Celeste. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Zena. Thank you. Yeah. Now, who was the next person?
I think.
Okay. Let me put what's your name?
It's Haifa. Haifa.
And your birth date?
October 15th, 1985.
And the time?
7:30 a.m. London, England.
Oh, I'm so excited you're calling in from London. Wow. I love my international. I mean, I love everyone, but I get a kick out of internet. How did you find me?
Through Colin on
Oh,
Instagram.
wonderful. Okay. So, your sun is in Libra. You have a moon in Scorpio right at the degree of this.
Yeah,
And you're a
exactly.
Libra rising. So this is a big full moon for you, but so was the Saturn-Uranus square. So the Saturn-Uranus square activated your moon square Jupiter. How have you noticed yourself feeling a need to break free of something?
Yeah, although I guess given the current circumstances, that's kind of
Yeah.
it's in the air, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I moved out of a very stressful living situation about a month ago.
Uranus on your North Node.
Mm.
Yeah. Was it a relationship or just people?
No, it was just roommates.
Okay. Are you in a relationship?
No.
Well, when Uranus hits your North Node in the 7th house, I don't know. Somebody could be coming in. Yeah, someone could be coming in. So the release is in Leo. So yeah, in July, on July, I think it's the 13th, Mars and Venus are going to meet at 19 degrees of Leo in your 10th house.
Okay.
And the 10th house is also like your reputation and where you meet the world and things like that. So I don't know. You could meet someone this year. And it's a really good time with this full moon being in directly connected to your moon. So you'll have a lunar return that kind of sets oh my God, I think it's the exact.
Yeah, it is. It's 6 minutes. It's the exact. That's why I wasn't sure what to think.
It is exact. Let me relocate this to, oh wait, can't quit. Where's locality? So if people didn't catch that, it's like the same, it's almost the same degree. It is the same degree, but almost like the same second, right? Yeah. So you could also pull like a lunar return chart. And so this really speaks to what your lunar return is going to be the month ahead. And the moon's in your house of relationships, and the sun in the house of self, and Mars like change at the home. So you moved recently or at the beginning of the pandemic?
No, recently, a month ago.
Okay. That really speaks to that. Yeah. So I don't know. Keep your eyes open for a relationship. If you see a man who's cute, say hello, or a woman, whoever you're interested in. Yeah, I like this for you. And I like this for you releasing old stories about, the past and,
Yeah, that makes sense. Like limiting beliefs and old behaviors. Something you mentioned earlier around the first house was that it's to do with health. I hadn't heard that before. Can you explain?
Yeah, so the first house is representative of not just the mask we wear and our outward appearance to others. It also speaks to the body and health. So you know how with the different rising signs that kind of can speak to how people look physically.
Yeah.
It also can speak to health things as well. So when like Saturn crosses your ascendant, it's a call to be aware that sometimes people can have health problems when Saturn crosses the ascendant. Sometimes like when Jupiter crosses, that's a really good time, but sometimes people gain a little weight, things like that. Or Mars, you want to just be aware that it's a time to be aware of
accidents.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I was. And Uranus is a big deal when it crosses your ascendant. It can be like an identity shift and things like that. So yeah, nothing's coming to your nothing's coming to your ascend. Oh, this is not your chart anyway. Let's see. Your Libra rising. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, so this is in your first house and a lunar return. So yeah, it's going to activate as well this square that releases in Leo. But when Jupiter's squaring, as I said earlier, it's not that big of a deal. But just keep in mind, since it's a closing aspect, just like examine your emotions and see if you feel like having an outburst or telling someone off. Ooh,
Okay.
you got the hollow bone, which speaks to teachability, is what it says. Oh, I've never pulled this card before. Let's see what this says. Teachability, humility, being empty so that the wind of spirit can breathe through you.
Wow.
It invites you to become empty of the notions of who you are. Check your ego at the door and know that this is not about you. Oh, this is about releasing the need to be right and express an opinion. It's about humility. There is an important communication waiting for you. So really be open for signs and signals. Yeah. And I think this is also speaking to allow abundance to come into your life, allow beauty, and not, have old notions.
Yeah, let go, I guess.
Thank you. You are very welcome. Yeah, I'm excited for you. I think this looks like could be some good stuff coming to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. And who was next? I think they were from Johannesburg, but I don't know if they're still here.
It was me.
Hi, how are you? Are you calling in from South Africa?
Hi, yes, I am.
I'm so excited. How did you find me? Did you find me through Colin as well or something else?
Yes, through Colin.
Ah, wonderful. What is your date of birth?
17 May 1999.
And the time?
12:20 p.m.
And Johannesburg, was it?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm spelling that right. Is that right? Johann.
The Berg is a BURG, not an E. A U. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wait. Oh, here you go. Moved you up here. Great. Well, you're a sun in Taurus. Happy upcoming birthday.
Thank you.
A moon in Gemini and a Leo rising. Oh, I love this. So earth, air, and fire. Wow. Yeah, and this is an important year for you. So the solar eclipse last December 14th was opposite your moon. So did any changes happen in your home life or work life over the
home life? No, nothing actually. It was very quiet.
Okay. Or maybe any new start emotionally?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of. It was different. Things were a bit different than usual in that aspect.
Okay. Well, stay open to what's coming because there's going to be a solar eclipse right near your moon. So some new emotional start may be coming in. You may already be feeling it, but the actual eclipse is at 19 Gemini on June 10th. So be ready for that. Let's look at you in this full moon. Yeah, you've got everything up at the top of your chart. So really good about
Yeah.
expanding. And then the third house of communications, siblings, neighbors, things like that are where there's a call for releasing. And you're getting ready to have Saturn. Well, it's not till next year, but it's going to cross your descendant. Are you in a relationship?
I am.
Mhm. Yeah. So just be aware next year there it may get, are you married?
No.
You may get a proposal, or there just be some more, there may be more, because Jupiter's here now, there may be more focus or seriousness with your relationship. Or even if there's some discomfort, just be aware it may be just temporary.
Okay.
I wonder when Saturn hits Uranus, is he going to pop the question? Let's see.
I'm not ready for that.
Okay. Okay. Stop trying to marry you off. So releasing stuff around third house topics, which can speak to communication, can speak to letting go of really big stories that no longer serve you. Let me pull you a card. Okay.
Can I actually ask?
Mm-hmm.
Is there like, I don't know, are the angles included in T-squares as well?
You know what? I include them, especially the ascendant, and the midheaven. Yeah. Where do you, let's see, what do you have a T-square?
Because I saw when you pulled my chart, my ascendant, Mercury, and Uranus are involved in a T-square. And I didn't know if the angles are included in major aspects.
Oh, yeah. So Uranus is opposite your ascendant. Oh, and squaring Mercury. Oh, there it is. Yes. So it releases in 16 Scorpio. So do you find sometimes your communication gets really intense?
Yeah. I feel like people, I don't know, they don't really
people
hear
come
me.
at you with intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have Uranus opposite yourself. So you may find that at times erratic people come into your life, or people who do things suddenly that don't seem to make any sense to you. And just be aware of that. So you have, as well as you have Mercury square Uranus, which can speak to anxiety, or you're the sweet little Taurus, and these these people come in, and so I think finding your power, speaking your truth, standing up to bullies is what comes to me from looking at your chart. And I pulled the card repairing the veil, forgiveness for you. Let's see what it means besides just forgiving others.
And I've been thinking about forgiveness a lot lately.
Yeah, making amends, recognition of our unity. Yeah, between us all, there is a thin veil of space that separates us. So this is talking about about not othering people or seeing ourselves as a part. And like forgiving yourself and feeling like you need to heal or forgive someone else. So that is your message. But you have a well of power within you, because you have what's called a yod to Pluto, and Saturn and Venus are at the base. So this speaks to maybe even potentially like some kind of calling. What do you do for work? To teach or something?
I actually recently graduated from varsity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm really into like astrology and tarot as like a profession.
Yeah, well, Pluto is you have a yod to Pluto in the 4th house. So yes, and the ninth house is the traditional ruler of astrology. So having all this emphasis here, having the fire to have instincts. Yeah, I like that for you. Uranus right on your descendant. I like astrology for you. Yeah, moon in Gemini.
Thank you
Yeah.
for this. This is actually the first time I'm hearing it. I just keep hearing that because I have a MC in Taurus, I should be in beauty, and I don't see that for myself. So like what you're saying
No.
is really reassuring.
Yeah, and your midheaven is at the last degree of Taurus, meaning at your root is the last degree of Scorpio, which really speaks to the healing arts and being a tarot reader. And you have Chiron right here, so that maybe you can help heal others, like you're tapped into the larger story of the unconscious and healing. So yeah, no, I don't think you need to be a banker or in beauty.
Thank you.
Especially if it, but you could be really, yeah, I like your chart for being an astrologer or tarot. Come take my class if you like.
Maybe in the summer. I just don't
Okay.
have the funds for it. That's the issue.
Oh, you're graduating from school. Okay.
Yes.
Another time.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Vicky, do you know who was next after Lasego?
I think it might be me.
Gail? Okay.
Just double check, but I think I'm next.
Okay.
I'm not sure what.
I think it's Alexandria.
Yeah, I think it's me.
Oh, okay. Let me do Alexandria first, Gail, and then.
Okay.
Are you after her?
I must be. I thought I was below Lasego, but I must be wrong.
I'm after Alexandria.
Okay, then I'm way down. I must be way off. Sorry about that.
No problem.
So give me the names of who will be next after this one.
I want you to look at, it's Alexandria. That's not you, is it, Alexandria? No.
And then Lynn Davis.
And then
Yep.
Lynn. Okay.
And then Monica.
Yeah, I don't see those in the chat.
You don't? Okay. Oh, maybe they direct messaged me. Okay. Maybe Gail. Okay. Let's do
sorry.
Alexandria, and then I'll take a look. Okay. What date were you born, Alexandria?
September 18th, 1996.
And what time?
5:05 p.m.
And where were you born?
Belleville, Belleville, Illinois.
Okay. And I spelled your name wrong, Alexandra. Okay. Okay. I'll just double check, make sure I typed everything in right. Oh, wow. Saturn is right on your ascendant right now. Yeah. So just be aware. You may notice that you feel less energy or you'd be more susceptible to illness. You're pretty young, so I wouldn't worry too much about that, but just be aware of that. So your sun is in Virgo, moon in Sagittarius, lovely, and an Aquarius rising. So Mars and Venus are going to be in your 7th house later this summer. Are you in a relationship?
No, I'm not.
Oh, well, if you want to be, this could be a good time to call in what you want. You have this beautiful grand trine and fire. Is your fire activated?
How would I tell that?
Do you feel like you have lots of energy? Like I
feel like I'm getting there.
A zest for life, like to just go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting there.
Okay. Well, you have Saturn. Yeah. So what can happen is, especially as women, we can get our fire put out as children. Like, were you a really active kid and people were constantly telling you to sit down and be quiet and things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your fire may be a little bit out. So that's something you really want to stoke. So you can stoke it by like just getting out and exercising, or, you know, making sure you like have some joy in life, take some risks, things like that. Yeah. And then let's see, where's the, okay. So this full moon is in your 9th house of expansion. So I want you to really think about how the messages you got as a child have held you back and like put out your fire.
Okay.
And next month, there's going to be a lunar eclipse on your moon. So it's going to be at 5 Sagittarius and your moon is at 6 Sagittarius. So that could be really impactful for you. So yeah, think about that this month. And then maybe come back next month for that.
Okay, great. Yeah.
For that. You're welcome. And yeah, just be aware that Saturn's in your 1st house. So that can be impactful. And there's like a call to change. Yeah, maybe make changes around your identity, how you communicate is maybe your story for this year. So something to think about. Let's see what cards you get. Benefactor, grace and generosity. This is really nice. Yeah. What kind of work do you do?
I work in functional health.
Let's see. So this is gift, support, mentoring.
Okay.
Yeah. That all manner of positive reinforcement is coming your way. The universe wants to let you know just as you've been generous with others, serving your gifts, even in the smallest capacity, so you will be rewarded in a myriad of ways.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, keep your eyes open for abundance. Yeah. And yeah, Mars and Venus could have something to do with your daily life and work, or it could be, you know, a relationship coming to you. So
okay, wonderful.
I like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see. Let me go back. Let me just pick a card for Susan. Okay, Gail was under Lesego.
So are there 2 places? That's interesting.
That's
Yeah.
right. There is. I was incorrect. Sorry about that, ladies. I didn't mean to. I just misread it. I'm there somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right under Lesego. So we'll do you next, Gail, but let me pull Susan.
Well, Lesego has 2 different entries.
Oh, she has 2 different entries. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm Lynn Davis, and I was after Alexandria, and then Monica, and then Lesego is in again, putting her city.
Oh, okay.
I think it got things confused.
Okay, I'll do Lynn, then I'll do Gail. How's that? Susan, are you still here for your card? Okay, she probably had to leave. So let me do Lynn, and then I'll do Gail, and then we'll get back to whatever, because I see Gail under Lesego, and I just want to make sure to get her. Okay. Hi, Lynn. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's your year? Your birth date?
November 19th, 1949.
And time?
6:21 a.m.
And
Santa Barbara, California.
Okay. Let's see. And yeah, I've done you before, right?
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I recognize you in your chart. Yeah, you're the triple Scorpio. Yeah, you're thinking about coaching, right?
Yes.
Ah, well, this full moon is in your 1st your 12th house of yeah, so really a good time to think about releasing self-limiting beliefs and moving forward with your whatever you decide you want to do.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. So the sun's shining on your 6th house. Mars is coming right up to Uranus, so there could be some change in like finances, like, or yeah, be really careful about this can be like an accident. So just be really careful driving and everything over the next week or so. And yeah, just be aware that there's that can, it could just mean you stub your toe, but just be aware. And it might not even be an accident, but there's that Mars Uranus. We get a little concerned. And yeah, releasing old stories when you're getting ready to have your lunar return. So you should be comfortable with the Scorpio energy, seeing as you're a triple Scorpio and doing your healing, regenerating thing, transforming.
So maybe I shouldn't drive up the coast like I was planning on Thursday. I was going to go to Big Sur.
Oh, I would just drive very carefully. Let me see.
I was so excited they opened the road.
Let's see if there's anything else. I wouldn't. You have a Pluto in the 12th is just at 0 degrees. I would put it off till Mars moved past Uranus personally.
Okay.
But unless you really need to at this point, but there's just, it's kind of one of those windows where something could happen.
I just wanted to, so I can put it off.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and let me pull a card for you. Okay. Oh. Okay. So you got the many masks card that speaks to the authentic self. Let's see. You're energizing your internal allies, a conscious shift. Yeah.
Actually, I like that.
Yeah. And your authentic essence doesn't want to be constrained by others' expectations anymore. Now is the time to strip away the masks you've accepted and discover who you really are. A new self is emerging, and your perception changes as you adopt new ways of being. Yeah, allow yourself to experiment and experience the world.
Okay.
Yeah, you step into your magic.
Hey, thank you.
You are welcome. Okay, Gail, let's come on. We'll do you. And
I wanted to say, I think Bay Rose is above me. You were ahead of me, weren't you, Bay Rose? Just to be fair, when I read that list, I think it's Bay Rose. So I'll wait and go after her if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay, sorry about that, Bay Rose.
That's all right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm having trouble like seeing the list. Okay, so Bay Rose, what is your information?
So it's the 10th of September, 1952.
And the time?
7:50 a.m. 50.
And place?
Mumbai, India.
Are you still there? Oh.
No, I'm in England.
Oh, good. The news about India is awful.
It's terrible. I'm trying to do a chart on India.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why this big surge now? Okay, so you are a Virgo sun, a Gemini moon, and a Libra rising. Yeah. Oh, and you have Uranus at the top of your chart. Have you made a lot of changes in careers throughout your life?
Yeah, I have. Basically in media and film.
Ah,
I
okay.
teach and I do different roles in it all the time.
Oh, fun. Yeah. Now you have moon opposite Mars. So now that Mars is in Cancer, it'd be a really good time to this next month till June 10th to really think about your emotions. And yeah, the next lunar eclipse is going to be on your Mars in the 3rd house.
I'm finding my emotions kind of a bit volatile.
Mars has been out of bounds, especially it's been out of bounds for I think a month or so. So yeah. So just be aware this week there's this intensity, as well as you have a lunar eclipse coming up on your Mars. So really take care of yourself emotionally. And let me see, full moon. And then let's see, where is it on your chart? Oh, it's in your 2nd house of values. And the sun is shining in your shared house of resources. Yeah. So really a good time to release old stories. Yeah, the south node is going towards your Mars. So it'll be interesting to see if someone comes into your life and a situation comes into your life about how you take action in the world, or like that opposition with your moon and Mars. So yeah, really keep a close eye. You might even want to journal about your emotions.
I'm going to take your course because
wonderful. Yay.
I feel I need guidance. I feel very precarious at this
moment. Okay, yes. Yeah, this is a really good time to work with your moon, with Mars being in Cancer and reporting to the moon. Okay. I pulled Empty Well, time to replenish for you. So that really speaks to it's like, yeah.
I'm doing a lot of meditation. I mean, I've been obsessed with personal care and astrology in this lockdown. That's what, there hasn't been much we could do. We were in lockdown for 5 months.
Yeah.
So I focused a lot on studying that.
Oh, good. Good. Now, do you have to take care of someone?
No, I'm just very concerned about my family in India.
Okay.
Because they're all on ventilate. I mean, it's just very ridiculous, the situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But it's also the Empty Well card says, stop diminishing yourself for the sake of another, or making yourself small. Yeah, it's time to reclaim what is yours and return what does not belong to you. So yeah, maybe think about that in terms of your values. Have you made yourself small in any ways to make other people feel?
With my partner in lockdown, it's been very difficult.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, the sun is shining on your house of intimacy and with your partner, and all this is here, and then your moon in the values section. So yeah.
Sun on what? Sorry, sun is shining on
the 8th house of the basement, the shadow. So a really good time to examine and maybe do some writing about like what's going on with your partner, and thinking about, how you want to address that. But I think, lots of people are having trouble with their partners, but Mars is getting ready to cross into your 10th house of where you meet the world. So it could mean Mars and Cancer can speak to fighting in the home. So you want to just be careful of that. And yeah, but it could be something comes in with work for you, something new. Yeah.
Oh, well,
So-
I'm trying to release a film, so that I'm waiting about that. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Well, maybe when Mars crosses into your 10th house, something will happen while it's there between now and late June. July, Mars and Venus are meeting in your house of hopes and dreams. So that could speak to your film.
Late July.
Great.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I look forward to getting to know you better in the course.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Great. Okay, Gail, is it your turn now?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Now, have I done you before?
No, you
Okay,
haven't.
your names looks familiar.
Oh, I've been on 3 of your courses.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, great. Well, I'm glad to do you today.
You're fantastic.
Oh, you're so sweet. What's your birth date?
November 25th, 1961.
And the time?
I don't know it.
Okay, that's okay. We can look at. And the place?
Trail, British Columbia, Canada.
Ah, another Canadian. I love it. Okay.
I love this software.
Oh yeah, I love it too. It's great. Oh, so you're a sun and Sag, a moon in Cancer, and an Aquarius rising. So that air, and water. Excuse me, fire, air, and water. I love it. And are you a big into exploration, travel? Yeah. Are teaching things like, what kind of career do you have?
I'm in finance, payroll.
Well, that's that Scorpio stuff. The finance. Yeah. Cool. I love it. And let's see. Oh, you recently had a Jupiter return. Jupiter is in, and now Jupiter's in your first house. So that's nice. And let's see where this full moon is going to be. Yeah, you have a lunar eclipse right at the top of your chart in a couple of weeks. On May 26th.
Okay, May 26th.
Yeah, so there may be something you want to release around work or your reputation and how you meet the world.
So that was a lunar eclipse. Okay.
That's what's coming. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so the sun is in your second house and the moon is in your 8th house of shared resources, intimacy, the basement. So this is just a really good time for you to think about yeah, the shadow and all of that sort of thing. Just be aware Saturn is going to cross your descendant soon, and there's actually going to be a Saturn-Uranus square on your descendant and in your second house. So I would just say, yeah, just keep an eye. If anything comes up with your health, just go to the doctor and get it taken care of. Because when Saturn crosses into our first house, that's something, and there's going to be an activation there. So just be aware. And yeah, let me pull a card for you. It may just be like a change of identity. Yeah. So I got Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. So do you feel like you've been stagnating at all in your life?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a real call to embrace the chaos, trust in the process, and move out of stagnation. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah. So just be aware there's maybe some wins in the outer life, but you're being called to make some kind of change to get out of this. So yeah, it can be really a little awkward, but work with it and yeah, make the changes where you need to so that you can, get yourself moving and get you're have Sagittarius at the top of your chart. You want to bring back some adventure to your life.
Do you have a Facebook page?
Yes, Astrology by Celeste on
Okay.
Facebook.
And
Yeah.
that's, if we were to book anything, we can do it there. Okay.
You can do it at my website, but I think you could also do it through Facebook if you want to book
Yeah.
a reading. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Gail.
Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome. Yeah. So who was next? I think was there someone, Monica? Was there a Monica? Let me stop. I can do a couple more, but I'm starting to fade. Let's see. Let's see.
Doesn't look like Monica's here.
Okay. So
But
here,
I gotta run, Celeste. I'm really trying to take care of some things around the house.
oh, no worries. Is Ashleen still here?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
still here.
Okay, Ashleen, I'll do you and Terry. And then
Okay.
I might have to I'll try to do everyone, but let's see. Okay. Okay, Ashleen. What's your birth date?
The 12th of August, 1990.
And the time?
11:12 a.m.
And where?
Carshalton in England.
How do you spell that?
That's CARSHALTON.
Love your accent.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So you are a sun in Leo. That what I keep talking about, Mars and Venus? It's going to
Yeah.
be right on your sun in July. So that's exciting. That could bring some good stuff to you. A moon in Taurus and a Libra rising. So you've got all this energy. This is a 7th house month for you. Yeah. Are you in a relationship?
No.
Okay. Well, if you want to pull one in, it's a good time. Oh, you have your sun square Mars.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
literally just came out of a relationship last year, July.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that could be a new start for you. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just had your Saturn return last year, right?
Yeah.
So that speaks to coming out of relationship. It was at the bottom of your chart.
Yeah, it's a very long toxic relationship.
Well, congratulations for setting yourself free. Let's see. So yeah, so the sun is on. So this is all about relationships for you, this full moon. The moon is
Okay.
opposite your moon. And the sun is shining in this house. So I think it's a really good time for you to examine, how you've been in a relationship and how you want to be going forward and releasing old stories about that, releasing any identity or self-esteem issues this relationship caused you, to get ready for a new start when Mars and Venus hit your sun this summer. That could bring
Okay.
a relationship, or it's just a good stuff to keep in mind.
Yeah, probably. Because me and my ex-partner working through co-parenting issues because we've got like 2 kids.
Oh,
At the
wow.
moment, right now, we're working through co-parenting issues.
Yeah. Jupiter is in your house of children, so don't ever let him talk you into One more time, baby. One more time. Anything over the next year, because
Okay.
you could come up with a 3.
Yeah, don't want that.
So you've got the card overwhelm as well. Someone got this. So really think about if you're feeling overwhelmed, but it also speaks to plenty. So like good things can be coming in for you. So yeah, I like that Mars and Venus meeting on your sun this summer.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
I'm
just
positive,
do
yeah.
some real thinking in terms of relationship.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm trying to do now. Like just less thinking, more doing. Better.
Yeah. And you've got Venus coming to your Mars too. So this really indicates that this is a good time to release some old stories.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming from England. Yes. Who is next? I said a name. I can't remember. Who was next?
That was me, Terry.
Hi, Terry. How are you?
Here, let me put on my video. So, hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
So glad you had time to do my chart. I've had my chart done, but not interpreted. So this will be the first.
Okay, great. What is your birth date?
7/17/1960.
Okay. And you are born at what time?
At 2:54 a.m. and in San Francisco.
I live in Oakland.
Oh, yes.
Are you still?
I'm on the East Coast now, though.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So you are a sun in Cancer, a moon in Taurus, and a Gemini rising. Well, that's nice. I like that signature. Well, I must.
That certainly makes sense then.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a Taurus sun and a Cancer rising, so of course I enjoy your. And I've got Gemini stuff too. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Oh, Mars and Venus is going to be on your Uranus. Are you married, or what is your?
Yes, I'm married. 31 years in May.
Oh, okay.
So, yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Saturn Uranus squares are in. Are there things you're thinking about how you want to expand in the world, or like some internal things you need to change to really?
Yes, I have. We adopted. We have 2 children. Both are adopted. Both do have, special needs, and so I had to leave my corporate work. But considering going back, not to corporate, but in a coaching capacity, I was an OD and coaching. So.
Oh, okay. What's an OD?
Organizational development.
Oh, okay.
So that involved all kinds of things.
Okay.
Back end.
Yeah. So the nodes are on your axes. So the moon at this full moon is on Neptune in your 6th house of daily life. So,
which means,
yeah, think about, are there any things you need to release in terms of habits or stress or?
My life is stress.
Well, I think this is a really big call for you to take care of yourself emotionally. Yeah. Because there's all
with special needs kids, it's a lot of extra focus on them, not a whole lot of time for myself, but really wanting to do, start doing something, for myself, getting back to that. So they're getting a little bit older now. So
Yeah, really, I think it's a call for you to make time for yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Annette Castor, preparations come to fruition. So have you been starting to prepare to think about going back or?
Yes. As I say, I don't want to go back to corporate. I'm, considering what areas I could be doing some coaching in at the time, now. So it's still in transition. Haven't really crystallized that yet.
Well, this is a really good card. It speaks to preparations come to fruition, a surprise, a result beyond expectation.
Oh, wonderful.
That tells you to
been working on this for a while.
Yeah, this is really good. And Jupiter is going to be on your Chiron, which is a golden aspect in May. So yeah, there could be something really nice coming. So call in what you want.
Wonderful. Good.
Yeah.
What oracle deck are you using? That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a brand new one. It's called the Shaman's Dream Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, who I absolutely love, and Alberto Villondo. I love this deck. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, great.
Okay.
Terry.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're
I'm
welcome.
so glad you had time to do mine.
Oh, me too. Okay.
I've really enjoyed your session today.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you came. Yes. Yeah, I think were you the last person or was there anyone else that I miss?
I think I may have been the last.
D, I don't see a D here. There's a D who put her information in, but she may have had to go. Let's see. I did Zena and Terry. Yeah, right. I did Zena already. Did I? Okay. I think I did everyone who asked. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. This was wonderful. If you're interested, sign up for Moon Mastery. You can also get a reading, or if you have a quick question, go over to Hey Hero. But I really appreciate